Hello everyone, Pally Time here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. I took the weekend off to myself just to kind of mellow out again because I've been really high strung lately, but I'm feeling good today. It's like Sunday afternoon right now. And we are going to jump into a game on Lili. Now, if you do not follow the Reddit, or really you're not involved with the community, you will not know about the changes to Lili that happened over the patch. Now, apparently these changes are not intended, but basically, at level 4, the Mending Serpent, which allows your Cloud Serpent, which is your W ability, to heal the target you land the Serpent on, has kind of a stealth buff because it now has some synergistic properties with Lightning Serpent, which makes the Serpent attack bounce up to 3 targets. Now, the damage on these is completely irrelevant. The fact is that if you attach this to one of your allies, then the Serpent will be attacking constantly, and it will be healing your ally up. Well, why is this important? Because it's a lot of healing, and it also allows Lili to actually target her heals on someone that she actually wants to heal for a change, rather than just, healing anyone in the area that happens to be low on health. Now, it has been rumored, I don't know if it's an official statement, but it has been rumored that this is going to be removed by Blizzard. So, some of you may be upset that I'm showing it today. It's already well known. It's already going to be fixed, supposedly. But I actually don't want it fixed, and I want to talk about that in today's video.
Ready for adventure!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have landed on the Sky Temple today. Look at this. Isn't that good? I was like, what can I match light blue with? And then I forgot about this mount, but it's so perfect. I do still have SLI on, so if you see some squares, I apologize. Wait! Yes. Hi, friends. We are going to be picking up... Okay, so there is a full Serpent build that you can do, which you increase the duration of your Cloud Serpent, which is probably better. But this is my own unique take on the exploit, because why not? We're going to be going with Conjurer's Pursuit at level 1. This is going to allow us to basically have mana throughout the entirety of the game. The friendly team, Jaina, Abathur, Lili, Kael'thas, and Zagara versus Nova, Lili, Raynor, Tassadar, and Sylvanas. So we have 0 frontline. They have a lot of sustain, actually. This is going to be a weird match. This is going to be a weird match. So, again, I know people get upset when I show things like this, like when I was showcasing the backdoor Abathur that was around forever and now has been removed from the game. People were like, oh my god, Pally Time, why are you doing this? Well, you guys should be educated, because the fact of the matter is this build is going to be happening in matchmaking. What's the Lili doing? Is Lili going for Serpent right out the bat? No. Interesting. All right, so we're just going to be holding the top lane. Kael'thas is a really, really squishy hero. Normally needs a tank to be peeling for him, so it's probably a good idea for me to at least be around him to provide him with some of that healing, because he can easily be focused down by the enemy team here. I've been playing a lot of Kael'thas, as you guys may or may not know. Oh, look at those squares. And he's very susceptible to the damage burst of Nova. He can be like instantaneously taken out of a fight. Just does not have a lot of health at all. Now, that being said, this guy does have the 3rd skin tint, so he's been playing a lot of Kael'thas as well. I don't know if we can contest top, but no one's even going for middle, so hey, let's ping that we're going to middle. We'll start to hold this for the team. Oh, did you guys notice that the frame stop didn't happen? The one that always happens when the shrines are becoming active? Interesting. Or the temples, excuse me. So that's good. Blizzard's optimizing their game a little bit. Tassadar looking like he wanted to come here. It looks like we have an AFK Zigzag in the middle lane that could be pushing, could be generating XP, could be helping us with this temple, but is doing none of that, so that's a little unfortunate. Half of the bullets have been fired out of this temple so far, and we're just kind of shooting and scooting around. No big deal. Not really losing much health in the process. Seems like we're going to be totally fine here. Zigzag now making your way up top for some reason that is unbeknownst to me. We do have Abathur down in the bottom lane soaking that, so that's a thing. Yeah, this is a really weird matchup for teams, actually. Really strange. We should counter their Nova pretty well if we can land our blinding cloud thing on them. Here we go. Mending Serpent. This is the earliest we can pick it up. Essentially, after level 7, Lili just heals for so much that she becomes nearly unkillable. Or whoever she gives the serpent to. So let's go ahead and activate it. This is just healing from the serpent here. This is 23 a tick right now. The 15 is from the regen orb, I believe. And that will only continue to get better. So the enemy team is a little bit ahead of us on XP. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a serpent. Just start backing up a little bit. Sonya coming in deep for this, but we do have the top hat of Abathur as well, so we can just reciprocate some of this damage right here, and we're actually going to push back the enemy Sylvanas. Thank you for the top hat, Abathur. Regen orb will always come in handy. We may actually be able to... No, don't go too deep. Don't go too deep. Keep the Qs flowing. We do not have a sippy cup up here, so that's a little unfortunate. We will be hitting level 7 shortly, although it looks like the enemy team will be hitting 7 before us. So we are going to... Oh, no. Yep. That's snipe damage. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem. Abathur soaking bottom with Jaina. Those guys should be fine. Zagara pushing middle. Looks like the middle towers did die from that temple we took earlier. Jim Raynor engaging Zagara now with the help of Nova, and Tassadar is going to make quick work of her, and look at her head just go limp there. Oh no. Oh no. Tassadar low on health though. Abathur using that top hat is going to get a little bit more damage out of there, and he's going to have to recall right here. So the temple will be active in, I believe, at the 5-minute mark, I think. I'm trying to remember these timers. No, it's at the 4:30. That was my instinct, and I didn't go with it. We're going to be picking up Lightning Serpent. This is going to cause our Serpent to chain auto attacks. Is the enemy Lili going for the same build? She is not. So at the end of this game, we can see who has more healing done and then compare. A lot of people are saying that this particular build is overpowered. I'm going to let the build play out a little bit more and then let you guys decide. Because personally, I really enjoy this playstyle. Regardless of the healing numbers, the just simple act of playing this build I find really, really fun, because the problem with Lili is that her Q ability, which is her Healing Brew, is a smart cast ability, essentially. There's no planning involved. It just kind of heals whoever needs healing the most around you. And, you know, sometimes as a healer, you do have to make that distinction. Do I want to keep this player alive because they can deal more damage, or do I want to heal the tank who's about dead? And the Q ability does not let you make those choices. The Q ability just heals whoever needs it the most nearby. With the Serpent, let's say between myself and Jaina here, if I want to heal Jaina, we just go ahead and attach the Serpent to Jaina, and look at that, 30 healing every single time an auto attack either hits an enemy or bounces. Okay, so the problems with this, aside from the fact that it's not intended, the problems with this is it's incredibly mana efficient. So you're spending 30 mana for this much healing. This is on a single target, and you're healing this much. Now, when you get in the middle of a minion wave, I wish someone would take some damage so I could actually show you. Here, I'll just take some damage, fuck it. When you get in the middle of a minion wave, and you start throwing this out, it's an absurd amount of healing. So this is 31 every time it goes to someone, plus, that's a decoy. Okay, I can't get too low on health if Nova's around. But here you go, look at this healing. This is for 30 mana. So that is obviously a problem, right? That is clearly a problem. I don't know how you would fix that with talents alone. That would have to be adjusted with something else. But the fact that Lili can do that much healing on top of her Q ability, on top of her jug of 1,000 fuck yous, which I'm going to use right now to try to keep our Jaina alive. I thought a lot more damage burst was going to be coming out of the enemy Nova. Here it is. And that damage burst is going to be enough to take her down. The silencing arrow coming out from the enemy Sylvanas is going to cut my ultimate a little short. They do have a lot of ways of interrupting my ultimate, but I still want to take that ultimate. I know some people won't agree with that decision making, but you know what? Some people aren't playing Lili in this video right now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If we go ahead and look at the numbers, you can see I'm pretty much out healing the enemy Lili. Basically doubled her healing a little bit more. But it's pretty early in the game. There's really no judgment calls that can be made by that. But one thing you can definitely make some judgment calls about is the fact that I can just walk into this enemy team right here, and I'm pretty much immortal. I mean, obviously they do have a lot of burst, And that is a problem with this build. Actually, they have a pretty decent team to counter that. If Gym Rainer goes for his Q setup, the fact that he can deal so much burst damage with that Q could be a problem. But you can just see I'm walking it here, and you know people are attacking me. Let's go ahead and give the Serpent to... No, let's just keep the Serpent for ourselves and continue to chase these guys into the towers using our Blinding Wind to deal some additional damage. The Ring of Frost coming out from Jaina is going to deal a ton of damage. And my Jug is cut a little short by the enemy Gym Rainer, something that we can expect to happen nearly every time we do Ultimate. I would like that regen globe, though. But you can see, I just took a ton of punishment there. I mean, a ton of punishment there. And then walked out like nothing happened. And granted, Lili was the best... Oh, God. Lili was the best character in the game before at doing that. I'm alive right now because of the Serpent and literally no other reason. Yes, Abathur's top hat is on my head, but this ridiculous combo with the Serpent is what kept me alive, and that actually allowed Jaina to walk in there and kill the enemy Lili. And look, I'm still doubling her heals, even though we've been in about the same amount of team engagements. Now, the enemy Sylvanas is taking the bottom temple right now. We can't do much about that when the entirety of the friendly team is top. At level 13, I am going to be picking up Blinding Wind slows targets. So this also allows Lili to get a little bit of crowd control as well, which is something she lacks. Which is another reason that Lili has not been a top-tier support pick in the, you know, high MMR or competitive scene, was simply because she isn't able to lock down a target very well at all. I mean, you can pick up Shrink Ray. Shrink Ray is not a bad target or bad talent by any means, but it's also not a great talent either. Not these days. It just doesn't seem as good as it used to be, in my opinion. In my opinion, you can disagree with that all you want. But I mean, I can sit here and tank this. And we have mana regeneration coming out of our Conjurer's Pursuit right now. And granted, I have not been collecting that many orbs, but I was able to keep myself alive, deal additional damage, just by spending 30 mana on myself, and I was able to tank the entirety of that. If we walk over here, I can probably just kill this whole Bruiser camp by doing nothing but giving myself the Serpent, which is crazy, right? So obviously, if this stays, I'm healing right now. Look. So obviously, if this stays in the game, it's going to need to be tuned back a little bit. The healing amount is a little high, and you can switch his build up to increase the duration of the Serpent, and then at level 16, make it so you get double Serpents, because who doesn't want 2 Serpents, you know what I'm saying? So if this does stay in the game, the numbers on this are going to have to be severely reduced. But I really do like the simple fact that that Lili could just walk up and be like, "Hey, what's up? You need some heals? Here you go." I mean, it adds another layer of gameplay to a character that is just on autopilot. Now, granted, you don't have to do anything for this. These Serpents used to be based off of your auto attack speed. So Serpents used to be crazy strong for a Lili Tychus combo. You could go in and give Tychus the Serpent, and because his attack speed is just through this, like, just crazy, he would do significantly more damage. Whereas someone like Sergeant Hammer, if you use the Serpent on them, you know, they don't really notice the damage increase at all. Let's go ahead and use our Jug, try to keep all of our friends alive. Jaina doing a great job of just blowing up this enemy team here. We're going to go ahead and give myself the Serpent, walk into the enemy team, and this bad boy will actually just kind of auto-attack even if I'm not doing anything. The Pyroblast was sent out on the enemy Tassadar, but he is taken down before it gets there. Let's go ahead and give Zigzag the Serpent. She was in a minion wave. Looks like she's just going to push forward. I'm trying to show you how much healing it just does by itself, but we don't really have the team comp for that. This is crazy strong. If you have a tank, your tank can soak up so much more damage, like right at the beginning of a team fight. If you have a Muradin, giving this to Muradin just increases his healing a ridiculous amount. Let's give it to Zigzag now and just watch. That's 30 mana worth of healing. 30 mana. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, people are like, well, why wasn't this in the patch notes? It's because people think it's a bug. Granted, every time a new patch does come out, there are some undocumented changes for whatever reason. I'm not actually oh! I got you. I'm not actually sure what the explanation of the undocumented changes are. But the word on the street, the rumor is that this is a bug and that it will be removed soon. So, hey, enjoy it while you can, right? Why not? That's always been my philosophy on bugs. Does anyone remember when Zagara was first released? You could just cast Rapid Incubation over and over and over and over. It had no cooldown. It would just heal you up to full health. The Pyroblast coming out of the enemy Jim Raynor isn't going to do too much because he was healed up by the enemy Lili. Another decent Ring of Frost does go down, but unfortunately everyone on the enemy team did dodge it. And now we're able to just chase these kills down with our Sweeping Wind and actually just deal a ton of damage to these guys. And they can't do too much about it. We may actually die here. Yeah, the snipe from Nova is a little too much. But still, a ridiculous amount of sustain coming out of Lili right now. With this particular build, I've essentially made myself the team's front line and just kind of walked into them and soaked up more damage than the enemy team can deal out for the most part. If we go ahead and look at the healing again, once again, Lili is going for a pretty standard build. Actually, not really. No, she's not. So the typical Lili build is Conjurer's Pursuit level 1, Healing Ward, then I believe it's called the Good Stuff at level 7, which increases your heals over time. Then Barrel Ultimate, your level 13 is a little more dynamic. And then at level 16 you either get 2 for 1 or Pitch Perfect. No. That's the wrong level range. 2 for 1 or Herbal Cleanse, which allows your team to get out of stuns if the enemy team is super focused on that. So the enemy Lili not running an optimal build. Granted, this is a game where you can pick the talents you want and it's supposed to be viable, but you know, numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? That's good and true, but numbers don't lie. Let's go ahead and try to keep our Jaina alive here. We are going to be picking up Kung Fu Hustle. This is the main reason I pick up Conjurer's Pursuit in the early game. It's because Kung Fu Hustle is going to reduce our cooldowns whenever our trait is active. We should be able to keep her alive just fine. Go ahead and give her the Serpent. Essentially, it'll allow me to use the Jug a lot more often. I can just go ahead and freely use it here to anticipate some damage bursts, which didn't actually happen. And then as long as we take damage, if you look at the cooldown of my ultimate, we could just kind of bounce in and out here with the Serpent up and really just reduce our cooldowns on my ultimate pretty substantially. Like, I can almost ultimate again. It's kind of ridiculous. Now, this talent is working as intended, and this is a valid strategy, dipping in and out of damage from a structure in order to reset your cooldown significantly faster. Like if another fight was about to erupt right there, I'd be totally fine. I'd be ready to go because we were just going in, soaking up a little bit of damage and lowering our cooldowns. Now that does lower the cooldowns of all of your abilities, so we can Serpent more often, we can heal with our Q more often, we can crowd control with Binding Wind more often. So I really do think that Kung Fu Hustle is one of the strongest talents in the entire game. And it does allow Lili to get away from basically everything if you take Herbal Cleanse at level 16. What's going on? Is Nova here? Looked like it. All right, the enemy team not doing too well. They are pushed back into the base. Only one keep remains, and it's in the middle lane. So we're going to start chipping away at that right here. Looks like they are coming to contest. I'll go ahead and ping for danger. Sylvana's showing up first. Oh, Kael'thas landing a beautiful flame strike on the enemy team is going to set up a massive amount of damage burst. The enemy Lili is going to be able to keep Jim Raynor alive. But here, guys, let me just show you how stupid this is. Let me just show you. Here you go. What's up? You guys can't do anything about this. Let's fall back. We'll keep our assassin alive. Here you go. You can have the Serpent now. He's just going to be healed up to full. We could just deal some damage to this Tassadar now. We don't really have to worry about anything. If they hit me at all, it's just going to lower my cooldowns even more. So there you go. That's the build. From what I understand, it is going to be fixed soon. But you need to know what you're up against in the Nexus. In pretty much every single ranked game I've been in, I have climbed about, I don't know, about 9 ranks over the weekend because I was just relaxing and playing. Over the course of the weekend, I have seen a ton of picks from Lili in Hero League. I've played a little bit of Lili myself with a 4-2 win-loss ratio. If you want to counter this, which you absolutely should in the draft pick, if you want to counter this, one of the best options right now is to go with a Nubarak and picking up his Web Blast. So at the start of a team fight, Most teams that pick Lili now are only running a single healer. So at the start, because her healing output is so ridiculous. So at the start of the team fight, you web blast the Lili, you completely take her out of it, and then you kill everyone else around her. You need basically to pick around Lili now, which has never been in the game before. Now, I do, again, like this play style, and I hope the play style stays. Obviously, the numbers just have to be tweaked a lot because that healing is way too efficient for 30 mana alone. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned a thing or two about a thing or two. The face cams will be returning soon. I'm just going to try to knock out as many videos as I can today because I have been behind. I want to play a new Brack. I want to play Diablo, ETC. Who else changed in the patch? Gazlo actually received some significant changes, and I want to take a look at him too. But that's it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.